Does money makes you happy?
But it does say something about the human condition, you know? It says that here's an example of a man that had every dream and aspiration, every resource to do it, and achieved those things. Had every opportunity in the world to be happy, but then ended up one of the most lonely, sad human beings I've ever heard of. So it says something about the human condition, certainly.
I bought pleasure for so long. You can't buy happiness. You can buy pleasure, though. You know, a lot of people say, like, oh, money isn't happiness. Well, money can buy a boat, and a boat will make me fucking happy, that kind of thing.
Does money bring happiness to you then?
No. It brings some happiness. It brings comfort. But absolutely.
I always think that if you have a lot of money, you don't have to worry about money.
You don't have to
and
worry
a lot of
about
people in the world have to worry about money.
They do, and it's tough. It's extremely tough. We've been through times in our family where we had to worry. It's stressful on relationships, on everything. And I'm very happy that I don't right now. Who knows, you know, forever. And
do you feel that you're happier right now than when you were broke, or not really?
Sometimes. It's a sometime thing. But I feel like the way that I have money kind of took away a lot of my happiness.
Happy in life. Let's see. Let's say I hope I'm finding happiness. But I'm not just generally happy. If I'm generally anything, I guess I'm generally miserable. I don't know.
I feel like sometimes people don't even love me for me. Like, I feel like people just love the clout. People like the fact that, like, yeah, my girl got money now. Like, my girl is a get money bitch. My bitch gets in here. My bitch is right there.
Nothing but pain,
Best
stuck in
hip-hop
this game,
singer that
searching
never
for
lived.
fortune and fame. That's what I hear. It's so basic that we all want to be famous and noticed and watched, and we all want money and riches, and we all want the finest out of life, from the most heartless gangbanger to the most virtuous police officer.
The media told me every day, and it's telling you every day what it is to be successful. So you've got MTV Cribs, you've got billionaires in front of your face, you have these extrinsic, external goals that will say, oh, Tom Shadyac has arrived. He has the right house, the right car, he flies privately. And when I got there, it was empty.
Some of my friend, billionaire, very rich, but as a human being, in deep inside, too much stress, too much worry, fear, like that. So this is clear indication. Material value, no ability, no possibility to provide us inner peace.
I think it can completely destroy a human being, and I got to a point where
Did it almost destroy you?
Yeah, it almost completely destroyed me. But I was lucky enough by the grace of God to have people that care about me enough to be like, hey, Justin, come on.
Happiness is an emotional response to an outcome. If I win, I will be happy. If I don't, I won't. It's an if-then, cause and effect, quid pro quo standard that we cannot sustain because we immediately raise it every time we attain it.
So how many times have you filed for bankruptcy?
Once.
Only once?
Yeah.
Only needed to do it one time.
No, I thought more people do it more than once, 3, 4, 5 times. I've been rich and broke more than anybody I know. You know, anybody who's a real winner out here that wants to be. You know, if I could get wealthy once, I could do it again.
That's true.
And again, and again. And like I said, I've been rich and broke more than anybody.
That's why you have a very unique way of looking at money and currency. Like I very rarely speak to people who share your ideologies when it comes to it and really mean it.
Well, listen, you know what money really is to me? Mike Tyson. Money is a false sense of security. Some people may think I got the motherfucking $1 billion, I can't even die. You know? And it takes one mosquito bite or one bad night with a wrong lover, just one shot with a bullet, and it's over. It's over before a flash in the eye. It's just life is this.
false sense of security. Nothing about it could be a
You feel
real.
invincible with money.
Okay.
You feel like you can't even die.
Well, your level of money.
Well,
That
listen.
money, that level. You're talking $100 of millions.
Yeah, listen, I always tell people this. You know, my daughter and my kids, they laugh at me because they're in a position because they're working on becoming professional athletes. And I always tell people, if you think a lot of money is going to make you happy, you never had a lot of money.
And I had worldly success in multiple industries. So I was successful in the music business, I was successful in modeling, in television, in real estate. So I made all this money and I had all this success. And here I was going, okay, I still don't feel any different. And I had banked everything on that making me feel better, or feel happier, or really honestly feel worthy, right? I think that's what we're all searching for, is that worthiness.
It's weird, dude. Like, fame is disgusting, horrible, gross, throw up, blah. But the reason that all of that is worth it is so that I can do these shows.
When people treat you differently, when you don't feel any differently, it's alienating. You feel like a zoo animal or something. It's kind of, it's like a, I don't know what it is.
How does one manage to find happiness?
Oh.
A really simple question.
I don't think there's a better way to live in this world. And all of us should strive to create our own circles of joyfulness and pleasantness around us. Because if you're not joyful by your own nature, if you're always going around with the fear of suffering, as long as fear of suffering is there within you, you will never walk your life with full stride. It'll always be half a step. Most human beings have crippled themselves simply because of fear of suffering. What will happen to me is always the question. Whatever happens, this is how I will be. If this assurance comes to you, only now you will want to scale the peaks of life and see, what about it? If it happens, makes no difference to you. If it doesn't happen, makes no difference to you. That's when you would like to really explore every dimension of life. So first and foremost thing is this, that your way of being is not determined by what's around you. If you bring this one aspect to you, there is no fear of suffering. Once there is no fear of suffering, you will traverse the breadth and length of this life without hesitation.
When people say, oh, I want to be like you, I want to be an actor, I want to look like you, the question I always ask them is why? Like, really, why? And people, and especially America, this idea of fame, that to be famous means that you're successful, that you're happy.
When How I Met Your Mother first went on the air, I ran into an actress that I knew, and she said, "Are you just like so happy all the time?" And I remember thinking, does she really think that when CBS picked up the show, it left me with an inability to feel anything other than unbridled joy? But the joke was on me because I kind of thought it would.
I want you to think back to the last time you seriously considered killing yourself. What would you say to that Demi today that wanted to take her life those years ago?
I would say, hold on, because the longer you go without acting on an urge, the easier that it will be for you, and the more resilient, the more strong that you'll become.
If it's success, you can never get enough of that. I realize that it's like, it doesn't stop, it keeps calling you. It's like a drug.
It's a hamster wheel.
It's a hamster wheel, and it's like, you're never satisfied. But if you place your importance on this, which is like appreciation, love, you know, it's like that is enough.
That I go home and sometimes don't want to get out of bed in the morning, and I have to keep a really strong exercise regimen, and I am on a medication, and all of these things are what make me me. I'm not ashamed of them. I've realized that they, facilitate the life that I want, and I also just think it's such a waste of time to feel ashamed about your own story.
One of the most important things you could realize is that you're not alone. You're not the first to go through it. You're not gonna be
Don't feed your soul. I still feel empty inside.
And I, got on a prescription when I was really young to help with my anxiety and depression, and I still take it today, and I have no shame in that.
I mean, if you get rich, how many seats can you sit your ass in at one time?
No matter how many seats you got, one seat at a time. So life's goal is a comfortable seat, quiet, comfortable, awakened seat. That's it.
So you're saying that having a certain amount of money doesn't bring happiness at all? Because I would actually disagree with that.
You can disagree with it if you want to. Yeah. But money has nothing to do with your happiness.
Physically feeling weird and this thing, and then I go to the hospital, and it's this. I literally was a year, and I still struggle and deal with anxiety for sure, and I still struggle and I deal with like things, and sometimes. But here's the great thing: this is the shit that like it makes me so happy. Is like when I feel weird or I feel out of my body, I've learned to accept it.
And the only way progression is going to happen is by talking about it and by allowing everybody to talk about it, you know. It just becomes more of a normal thing. And hopefully in 10 years from now, nobody is really worried about it. And hopefully 10 years from now, we have better ways of dealing with it because people talk about it and they don't suppress it.
I struggled a long time with not only my bouts of depression that I've had, but also things that have happened to me earlier on and when I was a teenager that colored me as an adult, but struggled a long time to just express myself because we as men, as dudes, just typically, we have this toxic masculinity sometimes where we want to hold on to feelings and emotions like I had done for many, many years.
And that can draw a thin line, you know, between you having your sanity and you losing it. And this is how artists deteriorate if you don't catch yourself.
Don't hate on people that got money, because I promise you, people that have money are more miserable than that broke bitch that live on the projects. I promise you, because the more money, the more problems.
My goal in life is not to be happy every day, because to me that is like Cinderella with little birds like flying around and rainbows, and it's fake. My goal in life is just to be present